Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. A little while back I did a video about weird and unusual food items that I have found in the course of searching for items for my MREs. Not everything that I come across meets the parameters of my typical homemade MREs, but there are some items that are just too cool, quirky, or weird to leave behind. They're definitely items that if you're building your own kits would be perfectly appropriate. I don't have an aversion to freeze-dried foods or dehydrated foods. I don't think that ramen noodles are necessarily evil. They just don't fit the parameters of my typical homemade MREs. But every once in a while I find these items that just really get my attention. You guys enjoyed that first round so much that here I am to bring you round two. In this video, we're going to explore some self-heating meals. We've got a self-heating cookie and another round of Russian space food. So if that sounds like something that's up your alley, stick around. We're going to try all this stuff, see how it is, and see what's a viable option for your kits or what's absolute garbage and you should run screaming from. So to kick this one off, for lunch today, I have got this, whatever brand I can't read, self-heating Asian meal. This is one of those meals that is so foreign that it has to have a special label printed up in English so that they can sell it in this country. But basically, this is just a hot pot meal where everything's in here, but it comes with a self-heating pack. Those of you that are big fans of my Barrow Cook, that's kind of what this is, but in a disposable form. So we're going to get into this and see exactly what's in here, and then we're going to try it out. Let's open up this package. By the way, if you can see the lettering here, if you can tell me what language this is and maybe what that says, I'd appreciate the input. I know I do have a lot of viewers overseas. I've had a lot of people start checking in from Asia in particular, which is always exciting because when I make these videos, I kind of feel like because of where I'm from that it's gonna have kind of an exclusive audience. I've had people checking in from Japan, from London, from New Zealand, Argentina. In fact, while you're here watching this video, do me a favor, go down and leave a comment down below and check in from wherever you're watching from. I'd like for this video to be one of those where I can track my audience and determine where you guys are sitting while you're watching this. Let's look into this and see what we got. Here's all the stuff that's in it. I have no idea what that is, but I'm a little scared. So we got noodles. I think this might be the bulk of the contents. So there's chopsticks. There is looks like a spice pouch. And here is our flameless ration heater. I don't know what they call it. Heating bag for food. Heating bag for food. So what we've got to do is add all the ingredients into this. We put the heating bag in the bottom, drop that on top, put the lid on it, let it cook for 15 minutes. Let's get started. So this is not completely all-inclusive of everything that you're going to need. You are supposed to add a little bit of water in here. That's interesting. These are actually wet items. These are fully cooked, not needing to be reconstituted, shelf-stable items. That's interesting. Our seasoning in there. This has a little bit of oil in it. I can see where the oil is kind of emulsified. The seasoning pack has an odd smell to it. And this is, according to the package, sausage. It's essentially a glorified hot dog, a shelf-stable hot dog that has no skin on it. So the directions say we're supposed to put warm water in here. It doesn't say how much. So I'm going to add an amount that kind of makes sense to me. I'm supposed to drop the heating pack in there and add cold water to that. Let's make sure that's going to go off properly. Yep, I can tell it's starting to do its thing. We're going to drop this in here, get the lid on it, see what happens next. There it goes. And now we settle in and wait for 15 minutes to see what comes out of that little box. And we're back. It's been a little over 15 minutes. I wanted to make sure I gave this time to cook properly. The studio smells very strongly of this food, which is understandable, but it is an odd smell. It's not a smell that if I didn't know something was cooking and I walked in and started smelling that it would make my mouth water. I think part of it might be their flameless ration heater. I think the off-gassing from that has a really unusual smell to it, but the food itself doesn't really have a terribly appetizing aroma to it. Let's open this package up, see what we've got, and see if it smells better once I've opened it. The package is super hot. It's very thin plastic, and there is no shielding at all when it comes to keeping from burning your hands. So you'll have to have something to put under this or to pick it up with. Oh, wow, that is super hot. Even the top, this thin plastic top, is almost too hot to open. So there it is. The cooking process did not make the sausages any more appetizing. It does smell better once it's open. There is a very rich, I don't know if that's ginger or what I'm picking up in there, but there is a very rich smell to it that comes off of it now that it's open. You can see these little rice noodles. They're almost like glass noodles. They're completely transparent. I forget what these are called. Are they lotus? Something like that. Got what looks like maybe some bamboo shoot, and of course the sausage. And then there's these, whatever that is. Now that we've got it mixed up, let's give it a try. This is a lot of food, but let's give it a shot. First off, let's try this thing they're loosely calling sausage. Oh my. This has heat. I did not expect that. That's very spicy. As far as the sausage, it's very soft. Not a lot of flavor to it because the spicy seasoning just, I mean, it overrides everything. Let's give one of these a try. Those are nice. They've got a good crunch to them. Good substance. That's where your belly filling is going to come from with those. Give that a try. And then let's get a bite of these noodles. So all of the individual stuff. Oh my, that spice. Whew. All the individual ingredients are good. They're very tasty. It's overall got a good flavor to it, but you got to like some heat with this. It is spicy. We're talking spicy, spicy. All right, let's get a bite with everything, or most of everything. So I think if I did this again, I would not let it cook quite so long. The noodles are overdone, but they're not terrible. They're just a little on the soft side. But if you like a little bit of heat, or if you like a lot of heat, it's definitely not a little bit of heat. This is substantial. If you like a little bit of hot Asian flavor, this is a good way to go. I'm going to go inside here, finish this off. And now I'm going to give you over to whatever comes next. See ya. All right, so our next item is something I found when I was in Trader Joe's recently working on my Trader Joe's MRE. And this really jumped out at me because I've seen this stuff thousands of times in my life, but for whatever reason, this one's different. Everybody's heard of canned baked beans, right? That's not an unusual thing. But what are giant baked beans? I came across these giant baked beans in tomato sauce. This is a Trader Joe's store brand item. And I just had to know, what's the difference between regular canned baked beans and these things? So I grabbed a tin of these. I've had them sitting in some warm water, warming up a little bit. Yeah, you can eat baked beans straight out of the can, but this seems so unusual that I definitely wanted to try it hot. Let's pop this thing open, see what giant baked beans in tomato sauce are all about. And by the way, if you notice, the label is upside down. Clearly there is some expectation of settling in the product because this is what's on the top of the shelf and that's what's on the bottom. So it's gonna sit like that. But let's pop it open and see what we got. So here we are. I mean, they're big. I don't know that I'd describe them. Well, I mean, they're pretty enormous. They're about the size of a lima bean. Well, about twice the size of a lima bean. They do smell really good though. There's a lot of oil in the sauce, but they smell really, really tasty. Doesn't smell like canned baked beans. There's a lot of a tomatoey smell, just a very rich smell to it. So let's give these giant baked beans a try and see what this is about. Oh, those are so good. Those are crazy good. I'm not sure they justify the price for this tin of baked beans, but they're good. I could definitely just pop open a can of that and eat that. And that'd be a satisfactory meal right there. Yeah, man. If you were building a ration with cans, throw that in with a few other things, that'll make you happy right there. I'm probably going to regret this later, and everyone around me is going to regret it later. That's good stuff. All right, so let's jump over and see what the next item is on our list of crazy foods. Let's go. So next up, we have another one of these weird offerings from Cup Noodles. They keep coming out with these seasonal, like one-off bizarre recipe items. And this time up, I picked up a batch of Campfire S'mores Cup Noodles. I mean, if you're going camping, you want s'mores, that's one way to do it. I'm not sure it's a good way to do it, but it's one way. This is ramen noodles in sauce that has natural and artificial flavors of s'mores. Let's open this up and see what fresh hell awaits us inside. Oh goody, there's marshmallows on top. It doesn't smell bad. It's very sweet smelling, very much smells like s'mores, but I'm a little scared of this. So we just need to add hot water, so let's do that. Let's put the top back on this, set it aside, and let it sit for a few minutes while we think about our life decisions and how we got to where we are now. And while the noodles are cooking, I want to show you something else that I got. If you recall, the last time we did, so I tried some Russian astronaut food. It was space pizza, and it was awful. And since y'all love me so much, one of my biggest fans sent me another tube of Russian space food. Good old Mr. Z reached out and decided to send me some Russian space chicken nuggets. The space pizza was bad enough. I can't imagine that space nuggets are going to be any better. And look, it's a big tube, y'all. I don't know anybody that would want to eat that much if it tastes anything like the pizza. Now, I did realize there was something that I did not do with the Russian space pizza that I was supposed to. I'm supposed to set this in hot water and let it warm up. So while we're letting those noodles cook, I'm going to put that in some warm water so we can see how it was meant to be. There, it's in warm water. Now in the last video, when I tried the space pizza, I threw out the idea that I wasn't sure if this was actual Russian space food or if this was just a marketing campaign. And then when I was reading the directions on this, I realized something, that in space, you're not gonna have a pot of hot water to put your Russian space food in. Think about that. We'll be back in a few minutes once these are sufficiently whatever they're supposed to be doing. And we're back. Our camp noodles, campfire s'mores, ramen noodles have had plenty of time to cook. So let's pop this open, see what we have. Weird, I didn't stir it or anything. The marshmallows have disappeared. Let's mix this up. It still has that really s'more-like smell, but I'm also picking up on some of the ramen flavoring. I don't even know what this is supposed to taste like. There's nothing on here to say what the natural and artificial flavors are that are in here. So I don't know what it's supposed to taste like other than s'mores. So let's get us a big old heaping helping. It just looks like any other ramen, but it smells like s'mores. Say a prayer for me. Here we go. Oddly enough, I don't hate it as much as I should. It has a very strange artificial taste to it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there is a 100% artificial flavor on this that, I mean, it's the flavor of artificial. We'll just stay with that. There's some chocolatiness there. The marshmallows are gone. I mean, they just dissolved. They're mixed in with the rest of this. But that taste of, I mean, all I can describe it as is artificial. These would be a great late night snack if you were like stumbling in from somewhere. I don't know that I would ever purposely buy them again. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the space nuggets. Chicken nuggets in space. Russian chicken nuggets in space. Pierce the top. Nice hiss. Here we go. Share the moment with me, people. I think there's a chicken bone that got stuck in there or something. Let's try again. There we go. Now it's coming out. Yay. Put the top on that because I'll probably be saving it for later. It smells like potted meat. Thank you, Mr. Z. Thought we were friends. Oh my God. Oh, it smells bad. All right. Let's try it. Das Padania. So it doesn't taste horrible, but it also doesn't taste very good. It's just processed chicken. No flavor. If I were extremely hungry, I could eat it, probably, but I'm not extremely hungry right now, so I think we're done. Thanks. All right, so next up we got a couple of fun little items. The first one is from Riff's Smokehouse. This is a bacon on the go, and this is the habanero heat flavor. Got this one on clearance at my local Kroger. Let's hope there's not any really weird reasons why this was on clearance. Got an easy open top that's not. All right, let's get in here and give this a try. Whew, smell the heat coming off of that. I mean, this just basically smells like jerky. Very spicy seasoned jerky. I may regret this because the next item following right behind this, you'll see what I mean in a minute. All right, let's give this a try. Wow, that's extremely tender. Much more so than I thought it was going to be. It's very sweet, very candied. It's not terribly spicy. It's not burning me up or anything. It's not bad. For 63 cents, it's a bargain. But now there's this next item. This was not a bargain. This was actually kind of pricey. I ordered this online and had it sent to the house. And since I've used something like this before in one of my MREs, I figured, let's give it a try. So even though it was a little on the expensive side, boy, that's tiny. Okay. This is from a company called Blazing Foods, and this is their ice cream sandwich bar, but it's a food challenge. It's the ice cream fire bar food challenge. It says it's the world's hottest freeze-dried ice cream sandwich. 1.4 million Scoville. What have I gotten myself into? I've never been one for food challenges, especially not spicy food challenges. So I'm not making any promises that I'm gonna finish this. I don't even know if this is a thing, but we're about to find out. It's a teeny tiny little ice cream sandwich. I'm afraid to touch it with my fingers though. Look at this. Look how small this little ice cream sandwich is. It's a little baby sandwich, but you look at that dust on it. All right. Never done spicy food challenge stuff before. It's not really my shtick here, but I guess I got myself into this one. Here we go. So far, not too bad. Oh boy. Mistakes were made. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, that hurts. Oh Lord. I'll be right back. We got some milk. I haven't started drinking it yet. I'm trying to see how much of this I can put up with. Oh my. Am I sweating? Part of me wants to take another bite. Oh boy. This part of me does not. Oh. Okay, going in. Not a hot food challenge person. Don't recommend this one. It tastes great, but it's expensive and it's spicy. Oh, my lips are starting to burn. Oh God, no. Oh, I'm going to regret this later. All right, I got to go. All right, next up we've got this really wild entry from O-Meals. This is the O-Meals Hot Dessert S'mores Cookie. So if you're not familiar with O-Meals, they make camp meals that are kind of like an MRE. It's a meal that comes with a ration heater and it comes with a ventilated bag so that you can cook it right in the packaging that it comes in. Usually their stuff is pretty typical of MRE type stuff, but I've never seen one that's a cookie. So inside the package, you get your flameless ration heater and two s'mores cookies. We're gonna whip this up and see what it's all about. So we're supposed to put the cookies into the O-Meals bag. Then we're supposed to pour in 3 to 5 ounces of water. Then we open up our flameless ration heater and drop it between the cookies. That means exactly what I said and nothing else. Put that down in there, zip up our bag, make sure that heater gets wet. I hear things happening. Let's puff it up. I'm gonna put this down before it blows up. So it seems to be doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's let that cook for a couple minutes and come back and see what we ended up with. Now I will say this while it's cooking, I don't know that this item is available anymore. I went looking for it recently on Amazon and could not find it. So I don't know if it's a discontinued item or not. I may be like eating the last O-Meals cookies that are on the planet. So this could be monumental. You may be part of something big here, or you may just be part of a huge waste of time. Who knows? They were, however, when I got them, kind of an expensive item. I got them because they were a bit of a novelty, but at the time I do remember them being a little on the pricey side. So they never really were a great option. I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you just bring cookies? Why do you need to bring cookies you can warm up? I don't know. Probably not the best marketing idea that O'Meals ever came up with. All right, we've waited a sufficient amount of time. Let's get in here and see if these cookies are any good. That is so hot. Another downside to these things is that it's screaming hot. That's all right. I'll get my cookie out. One way or another. One cookie. Two cookies. All righty, here we have it. One hot s'mores cookie. And the cookie is barely holding together. Guess that's the thing about eating it hot. Yeah, this cookie is just falling apart. I can see why these are no longer around. It kind of smells a little dusty. Let's give it a try. It's very dry. It's overly sweet. Not really something that I could say is worth all of the effort that you have to go to for these things. It's an okay cookie at best. Definitely not an award winner of any kind. Just carry a regular old bag of cookies with you. If you want them warm, put them in your pocket, set them out in the sun. So welcome to the last round of weirdness. I've got 2 items left to wrap this video up, so let's take a look and see what I found. Now, the whole time I've been doing the homemade MRE videos, I've gotten a lot of comments about people wanting me to do breakfast items. And to be honest, that is such a niche market that finding things besides muffins and oatmeal and stuff like that, there's not a lot out there. Years ago, Hormel tried their hands at making an MRE style egg dish, and it did not go well. Mostly because it looked like the insides of the chicken that had laid the egg. It wasn't well received, it did not sell well, and it went away about as quickly as it came on the scene. But the other day I was at my local Walmart, and sitting up on the shelf was this Banner sausage. Although it doesn't say breakfast sausage, the picture on the can would indicate that that's its intended purpose, because it's pictured here with some eggs. So I got really curious about what canned breakfast sausage would be like. So we're going to pop this open and see what it's all about, and we're going to give it a try. So let's get in here and see what I got. I don't think breakfast sausage is supposed to sound like that. All right, let's pop a top. I'm almost, that is not pretty. Look at this. Oh, that's bad. All right, I got to go pour some of that off. Be right back. That looks nothing like that. I was under the impression this was going to be like a chunk of sausage that you would need to slice up, so I brought a cutting board and a knife, but it's not. It's loose. It's loose sausage. Ew. That is ridiculously weird. I mean, it's cooked sausage and it's pink. We're going to pour it out in the skillet and see. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to make that look like this. That's not what we got here. It doesn't even smell like breakfast sausage. It smells like potted meat. Banner, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Oh God. All right, let's cook it. At least it has an easy open lid. It's made with pork and chicken. Yay for us. Oh, I hope this begins to change form quickly, because this is disgusting. This is 100% in the opposite direction of what I thought was going to be in that can. And I didn't have high expectations to start with, but this is horrible. There's a special place in hell for the people at Banner Foods. Good grief, that's bad. It's not getting better. It's not browning. It's not browning at all. I mean, it's starting to stick to the bottom of my non-stick pan, and it's still not browning. As I get little bits of burnt edges here, it smells better. That's the part that scares me the most, is it smells better when it burns. Still not browning, though. This may go down as my biggest disaster yet. My goodness. At least it comes easily off the pan. It's my Cooker King cookware I showed y'all a couple of videos back. Still, the only color this is taking on is from the burnt bits I'm scraping away from the edge. Okay, it's starting to smell remotely like breakfast sausage now. Still does not look anything like it though. It just browns in darker shades of pink. Problem is, by the time this gets any color on it at all, it is going to be so dried out. Oh, this is definitely top 10 of bad decisions with food. All right, it says I'm supposed to serve this with an egg. All right, that's what we ended up with. I've had reservations about eating stuff on this channel before, but this ranks right up there with the best of the worst. We get just a bite of the sausage. Look, these people have been selling this stuff for years. There must be something to it. Let's find out together. Okay, it tastes vaguely like breakfast sausage, but it tastes way overcooked. The fact that I had to do that much to it just to make it visually tolerable, that's not good. All right, let's try it with the egg. Maybe it's better that way. Spoiler alert, it's not. I would have to be literally starving to death before I would ever do that again. Look, if you like this stuff, please chime in and tell me about it, because I don't understand what that's all about. In fact, this is a good time as any to tell you, if you're enjoying this content, please give us a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be made aware of all upcoming videos. And as always, feed the algorithm like the monster it is. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of the items that you've seen so far. Don't leave yet. This video is not over. There's another item to show. But tell me what you think of the items that we've shown, if you've tried any of them and what your opinion is on them, and if you think I'm completely insane for doing this, or if I'm completely insane because I didn't like something that you loved. I get it. People like different stuff. Somebody's keeping these people in business. It's not me. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's try our next item, because that's going to be my salvation, because it's my dinner tonight. I'm glad I've got something besides that. Now, I know somebody's out there screaming, you should have put some hot sauce on it. That'd fix it. I know. I'm sorry. That's just a great big no. There is no hot sauce in the world that is good enough to make that better. All right, so that leads us to our last item, which is another self-heating meal. And right before I came in here to do this, I looked up this item to see if it was available on Amazon or where else you could get this. And I think this is another item that no longer exists. This is the Chef 5-Minute Meals, and this is their pre-cooked, ready-to-eat spaghetti in meatballs and sauce, and this is considered survival food. That's right, this is an MRE main, basically, in a package by itself. Spaghetti and meatballs with some kind of a heating device. So I looked on the back here to see how we're supposed to work this thing, because it says, see how it works. There's no instructions. You have to scan a QR code and watch a video. Let's do that. It's a YouTube's. And I have to watch a commercial before I can watch the instruction video.
Hi, I'm Laura. Now for all you backpackers, outdoor enthusiasts.
All right, so this works pretty much like some foreign MREs, where it comes with a flameless ration heater and an activator as opposed to using water. So you're supposed to open the package. I like how it has carry loops too. Like you're just gonna walk around in the field carrying it like this. But take everything out. Open up our heating bag. There we have our flameless ration heater pack and our activator. Just gonna drop this down in there. We also get a useless spork and a KFC napkin. We drop our main down in there like that. Shake our activator, tear off the top, and pour it in. Fold over the package, shake it up so that our activator activates our heater. I can feel it starting to heat up. I can hear it. And we're just gonna set it right there and let it do its thing. All right, we're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes, because that's how much it says it's gonna cook. It's Chef 5-Minute Meals. See y'all back here in 5 minutes. All right, it's been 5 minutes, so let's check this out. I think I'm gonna need the same piece of sophisticated culinary equipment that I used for the O-Meals cookie, because that thing is hot. All right, let me find a bowl to put this in so y'all can see what we ended up with. Just for kicks, let's go with the mess kit. Let's open this thing up and pour it out. Wow. I should have eaten more of the sausage. That's it. O-Meals, please. That's what you get right there. That is ridiculously skimpy. The one thing that they could have bulked up on and still not really cost them anymore, the pasta is almost non-existent. Look at this. It's all sauce. And of course, you've also got your textured vegetable protein meatballs. You know, I said this was going to be like ridiculously useless, or whatever the word I used was, but I have a feeling it's going to be just fine because there's nothing to eat here. Here we go. Let me get a bite of everything. Let's get some spaghetti. Let's get some sauce. Let's get a meatball because it's nothing to get it all on this little bitty spork. I mean, it seems to be sufficiently hot, but let's give this a try. Bon appetit. Ooh. It's also not good. That is some weird tasting spaghetti. I understand now why this is no longer available. This is horrible. Let me take another bite, see if it changes my opinion. No, that sauce is terrible. I don't even know what they have done here. It's almost like they just took tomato sauce, and I don't even know what that one dominant flavor is, but it's not well-seasoned spaghetti sauce. It's just tomato sauce with something else in it. As a scope of reference, Chef Boyardee runs rings around this. I'm done. I love you guys, but there's only so much abuse I'm going to take. That is awful. And I recall when I bought it, it was fairly expensive. I want to say it was over $10, maybe even $12 for that tiny little portion. That is the equivalent of those little mini cups of Chef Boyardee spaghetti. That is the most ridiculously stingy and bad tasting spaghetti I've ever had. And let me tell you something, spaghetti is my favorite food on the planet. You get spaghetti wrong, I'm done with you. There is no recovery. There's no coming back from that. We are finished. Chef 5-minute meals, we're done. You're out of here. You can't get spaghetti right. You need to get out of the cooking business. Take the word chef off of your label. There is no chef in the house. No yes chef. No, this is no chef. Somebody should have stood up to the guy in the big white poofy hat. This is unsatisfactory. It's ridiculously bad. In case you haven't figured it out, I didn't like it. It's not good. All right, so that is it for this video of weird things that I found along the way of building homemade MREs. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I would say it was fun making it, but I'd probably be lying. It was interesting. We'll put it that way. It was interesting. That's the word I will use. And until the next interesting video, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. And we'll see you around. Come get this mess out of my shop.